next big question that we're all asking. I can't even believe we're just asking it 2 years later. And you actually just wrote about it. You said that it is possible that we will have superintelligence in a few thousand days from now.
I mean, there is wide uncertainty, and there's also different definitions of what superintelligence is we could get here, and we still believe we can get here. It's not for sure. There's a ton of hard work, a ton of research and engineering still to do, but I think it's possible, and I think it's possible not super far in the future. I expect that in 2025, we will have systems that people look at, even people who are skeptical of current progress, and say, wow, I did not expect that. That does change what.
Like what?
Agents are the thing everyone is talking about, I think for good reason. You know, this idea that you can give an AI system a pretty complicated task, like a kind of task you'd give to a very smart human that takes a while to go off and do and use a bunch of tools and create something of value. That's the kind of thing I'd expect next year. And that's like a huge deal. We talk about that like, oh, you know, this thing is going to happen. But that's like, if that works as well as we hope it does, that can really transform things.
Let's talk about artificial intelligence. Let's go to somewhere else at NVIDIA. This is literally our office. This is literally NVIDIA's headquarters. You're inside our digital twin. Everything here is generated by AI. It started in 1993.
Ready, go!
With NV1, we wanted to build computers that can do things that normal computers couldn't. And NV1 made it possible to have a game console in your PC. Our programming architecture was called UDA, missing the letter C until a little while later, but UDA, Unified Device Architecture. And the first developer for UDA and the first application that ever worked on UDA was Sega's Virtual Fighter. 6 years later, we invented, in 1999, the programmable GPU. And it's this incredible processor called the GPU. It made modern computer graphics possible. And now, 30 years later, Sega's Virtual Fighter is completely cinematic. This is the new Virtual Fighter project that's coming. I just can't wait. Absolutely incredible. It is history. AI has been advancing at an incredible pace since. Started with perception AI. We now can understand images and words and sounds. To generative AI, we can generate images and text and sounds. And now, agentic AI. AIs that can perceive, reason, plan, and act. And then the next phase, some of which we'll talk about tonight, physical AI.
Hey, yo, what's good? It's your boy Dre La Soul back with another Crypto Rants and some blockchain and crypto wisdom for your head top. So today we're going to talk about same stuff I always talk about, crypto. But on the real, I feel like I always got to repeat this, but it's a good thing that I'm repeating it because I want it to stick. I want y'all to really understand this concept, right? So when it comes to cryptocurrency, when it comes to the crypto market, it's all about the narrative. Crypto is all about attention. Where is the attention going? Attention is the new currency, right? We know that because of social media, but the same thing works in cryptocurrency. Because of cryptocurrency, we have a lot of people that are chasing these get-rich-quick schemes, get-rich-quick coins. There's a lot of rug coins out there, rug pulls, where people are making a lot of money on the backs of innocent people that are just trying to invest and better themselves, right? So a lot of the attention gets shifted to certain categories because people are like, oh, we got to run over to where the hype is. So they run in droves. It's kind of like bees going from different flowers, pollinating honey. Where's the bees going to, right? So that's kind of how the market works. But it's all about narratives. And these narratives are based on the niches. The niches are based on the sectors. Sectors, just like in stocks, you have sectors of stocks. You got financials, you got consumer staples, which is like your Walmart and Target and Sam's Club and whatnot. Then you got consumer discretionary, which is stuff like LVMH, things like that, Nike, Adidas, so on and so forth, right? Then you got your finance, you got technology, and even within technology, there's subsectors as well. So the crypto market is the same way. Crypto market has sectors, it has niches, it has categories, and different categories have hype based on what's going on in social media, based on what's going on in the macro economy, globally, so on and so forth. So one of the biggest niches is AI. AI is one of the biggest niches in crypto. It's also one of the biggest niches in traditional finance. And if you've been listening to Crypto Rants, you've probably heard me say this before, but for those that are new, and even for those that heard this already, I want this to sink into your head about the narratives and about the way the market moves and the way the money flows. So one thing I haven't spoken about before in a minute was the money flow in cryptocurrency, right? So the way the money flows is it's a cycle. Cycles repeat, right? So the money starts in Bitcoin, right? A lot of money gets piled into Bitcoin. Once those profits are made from Bitcoin, once Bitcoin hits all-time highs, once it crosses all-time highs and it's in the price, it's in the price discovery zone. That was crazy. And it's in the price discovery zone. That's when people start to take profits. They take those profits and they put those profits into the next big thing, which is Ethereum. Ethereum is the next big behemoth after Bitcoin, right? So they put it in Ethereum. Ethereum is the leader of the altcoins. It is the proxy for the altcoin market, meaning people look at Ethereum to see what the altcoin market is going to do, what it's about to do, so on and so forth. So the money goes into Ethereum. Now that Solana has been making a lot of headway, Solana has taken up a lot of market share, and a lot of activity has been going on in Solana. Solana is the next step. Usually it goes from Bitcoin to Ethereum, then money flows into the other big altcoins. But Ethereum is number 2 and Solana is number 3. So the money then flows into Solana. Now there's a bunch of coins that are created on Ethereum and Solana. They have their own ecosystems. So once profits are made from those main coins from the ecosystem, it then goes into the smaller coins of those ecosystems, the protocols, right? And that could be like the decentralized finance platforms. So for instance, on Solana, it will be Radium or Jupiter. Decentralized platforms, exchanges are pretty much where people are trading and buying cryptocurrency, kind of like Coinbase, but it's decentralized, so nobody owns the platform, right? You got meme coins, you got all different type of coins. DeFi, just like Ethereum. Ethereum has Uniswap, it has Curve, it has MakerDAO, a lot of these different platforms where people could transact and buy cryptocurrency, swap coins, and all that good stuff, right? Once money flows into Bitcoin, then flows into Ethereum, then flows into Solana, then flows into those other big coins that are high in market cap. And market capitalization is just how much that particular coin is worth, how much money is behind that coin. So Bitcoin's trillions, Ethereum is in the high billions, Solana is in the high billions, then you start to go down into the lower billions and then into the hundreds of millions. So those are what we call like mid-cap coins or smaller coins. And then eventually it goes into the micro coins, which are those very new coins that don't have much backing behind them. They don't have much liquidity. The market caps are pretty low. And then everything skyrockets, right? Now, I like to use this analogy where it's kind of like a trampoline, right? The fat kid jumps on the trampoline. The fat kid is Bitcoin. He bounces. He goes but so high because he's pretty fat. He weighs a lot. So that's like that's like Bitcoin being $1 trillion market cap. He's very fat. The next coin that jumps up is Ethereum. He's still kind of chunky, so it goes up a certain amount. But then those smaller coins, the little scrawny kids, the real skinny kids, once that fat kid comes back down, they bounce to the moon, to the stars, wherever. They go very high because they're small, they're light, they're nimble. In other words, their market cap is low. They're pretty spicy. They're new coins. And that's what happens. That's how the money flows. Then once people make profits in that, then once you start hearing random people telling you about what coins to invest in, then you know, like, all right, it's time to run. You know what I mean? Take some profits and all that good stuff. And then the cycle restarts all over again. So that's how the money flows. Now, going back to the narratives, the most popular narratives in cryptocurrency right now are AI. AI has been taking over the world. You got AI agents, AI infrastructure. You got something which is called DePIN, which is decentralized physical infrastructure networks. So think of like the Internet of Things, right? Smart cities, think of that. So the next category is meme coins. Now, meme coins can be very spicy. They can be very tricky, but that's the next category that's popping as well. Then you got DeFi, which is decentralized finance. Then you got one of my favorite categories outside of AI is RWA, real world assets. So the tokenization of real world assets. I try to tell people this every day, that everything is going to be tokenized at some point. Everything is going to be on a blockchain. Blockchain is the only mechanism that is trustless and where people can interact, trade value, create value without having to see each other, without having to know each other, without having to trust each other, because we trust the technology, we trust the chain. So RWA is the tokenization of homes, the tokenization of deeds, the tokenization of titles, the tokenization of IP, the tokenization of your investments, the tokenization of housing, the tokenization of real estate, everything. That's the future. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink already said that that's the future. So there's no questioning that, right? Now, another niche that I think is really popping, another narrative that people haven't been really talking about much lately because it hasn't been getting much hype, is gaming, crypto gaming. Now, blockchain gaming is not really going to make sense to a lot of people until GTA comes out, Grand Theft Auto 6. It's not going to make sense to a lot of people until Off the Grid, which is a new game that was built on the Avalanche blockchain, until that gets more hype. People won't really understand. But one way you could understand is think of that video game movie Ready Player One, where it was a futuristic movie where people were jumping into the metaverse, jumping into the futuristic world, jumping into virtual reality, forgetting about the actual world that they live in and interacting in that virtual world. And it seems very real. You know, the feelings feel real, the touch, the haptics, which is like when a sound is created, you actually feel it, kind of like when you're typing and your phone shakes and stuff like that. Or when you're playing a video game, you get knocked down and the vibration. That's the haptics, right? So you got the haptics, you got the sounds, everything feels super real. That's actually where we're moving into with the metaverse, with these crypto gaming coins. Now, going back to Off the Grid. Off the Grid is a first-person shooter game. So think of like Call of Duty. This particular game leverages the technology of NFTs, non-fungible tokens. Everybody thought NFTs were done. Everybody thought NFTs were dead. Everybody thought NFTs were just PFPs, which is profile pictures. Now, to some degree, they are profile pictures, but they're more profound than that. They have a lot more to give. They have a lot more substance than just a picture. It is the authentication of a particular asset. So another analogy I like to use is like back in the day growing up, like in high school, everything was like a fashion show, right? You had your throwback jerseys, your J's, your Dunks, Bo Jacksons, you know what I mean? You got your Coogis, all that good stuff, right? Now, if somebody had a Coogi on, because there was a lot of fraud Coogis out there. If somebody had a Coogi on, they was going to check your collar and see if the actual Coogi Australia tag was there or if it was some other tag, because there was a lot of other companies making sweaters similar to Coogi. So that was like the authentication to know that it's fake, it's official. A lot of the Coogis are one of a kind as well, right? So that means it's non-fungible, meaning I can't change it for another one. Fungible mean like a dollar bill is fungible. If you lose your dollar bill, I could give you another dollar bill. I could also give you a dollar in the form of quarters, in the form of pennies, so on and so forth, right? It's fungible. You could get that dollar back. Whereas a very unique painting, a one-of-a-kind painting, is non-fungible because you can't replace that, right? So NFTs are unique assets that exist on the blockchain. Remember, the layer where we're going to tokenize everything, the trustless layer where we don't need to trust anyone. We can just transact because of the technology. So non-fungible tokens are like that certificate that proves that this thing is legit, proves that it's real, and it gives it an attachment to the real world as well, because you can now tokenize Basquiat pictures and things like that, or paintings, right? So the way NFTs are going to be used in games, think of like the suits or the gear, the guns, the weapons, because remember, Off the Grid is a first-person shooter game, just like Call of Duty, which is a game where you have weapons. It's like an army game. You're shooting, you're fighting, you got knives, you got, power-ups and, different boots and different bulletproof vests, all that good stuff, right? Spitballing right now, but you get the idea. You get the concept. Now, if you got kids right now, if you got younger siblings, you know that they spending a bankroll. They spending money on your credit card or on your debit card to buy these Fortnite suits, to buy this Fortnite gear, right? And you ain't got nothing to show for it, just them being happy to play the game. But the difference with NFTs, with Off the Grid, with crypto gaming, with blockchain gaming, is that now you get to own those assets. You will be able to own those assets. And yes, these are assets. These are digital assets, right? And what's the backing? What's the value of the assets? The gameplay. How many times you beat a particular board or beat a challenge or you won a tournament, how many kills you got, how many points you got. All that is going to be accumulated on that particular weapon, on that gear, on that digital asset that you own, which is an NFT. Now, the beauty of NFTs is that it exists on the blockchain. The beauty of blockchain is that now I could change, exchange, and trade value. The NFT tokenizes that value and allows me to trade those assets. So that's how it's going to work. So people think NFTs are dead, but really and truly, the real power behind NFTs, you can't even fathom the real power of NFTs. People are going to be staying home, making money in the video game, in the metaverse, in virtual reality, and they're going to make money in cryptocurrency. Off the Grid is a game that exists on the Avalanche blockchain, so they will make money in AVAX, which is the Avalanche token. Avalanche is also EVM compatible, which means it's Ethereum virtual machine compatible, which means that it can interact and talk with the Ethereum blockchain, which means I can exchange my AVAX for ETH, which is the token on Ethereum, ETH. So that's how you can trade, extract, transfer, swap, whatever word you want to use. We could change value, and that value is real value because it has blood, sweat, tears, time, and digital IP embedded in all of that, right? So crypto gaming is one of those other niches, sub-niches, that people don't really talk about too much, but a lot of those companies, a lot of those crypto companies are working behind the scenes. You got companies like Beam, you got companies like Super, and you got one of my favorite companies, which is Prime, Echelon Prime, which mixes AI and gaming together. That particular game is like a card game. So think of like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon or whatever, but it's a digital card game. It's actually a game that a lot of people have been playing. So not financial advice, but Prime is definitely a cryptocurrency you should be looking into, doing your research, as well as Beam, as well as Super. You got other coins like Altura, which is building NFTs and digital assets, and they're leveraging AI as well. You got Neural AI, which is another AI program that's specific to gaming, which is allowing you to build gaming assets leveraging AI. So all these things are going to be intertwined together. Web3. Web3 is the cross-section, the interaction, the conglomerate synergy of data, the internet, money, digital money, transacting value, social media, attention. So everything we know now that might seem to be separate is all going to be together and interlocked and intertwined with each other with Web3. And the infrastructure behind all of this is blockchain. Hence the name of this channel, Urban Blockchain, right? And the whole goal is to teach us, our people, the ones that look like you and me, the ones locked up, the ones braided up, the ones knotty up, the ones dreaded, the ones with the melanin, the melanated diaspora. It's imperative, it's important that us, we, you and I, me and you, are in the forefront of this technology, are getting exposure to this technology, exposure to the financial gains, the generational wealth creation. It's not all about the money, it's also about the opportunities. We got tons and tons and tons of talent within our diaspora. The guy that created the user interface for all of the social media platforms we use today, Idris, one of the smartest men in the world, right? Who worked with Nipsey Hussle to build out the smart store and all that stuff. It's a black guy. If you don't know about him, do your research. We have influence, we have the culture, we have everything behind us. And that's all I got for this rant. I do want to say some more, but I feel like it's too long now. But nah, for real, on some real like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Make sure you pay attention to those niches, which is crypto gaming, crypto AI, DeFi, decentralized finance, real world assets, meme coins. Be very careful with those. Make sure you do your own research. Tap in. We out.